everyone, welcome to this video. In our previous video, we learned to find out the solution of a quadratic equation using the factorization method, in which the middle term is in the form of bx, coefficient b of x is equal to the sum of two factors and the product of a and c. In this video, we shall see how to solve a quadratic equation by completing the square. Can you solve a quadratic equation using the factorization method? For example, here we are given a quadratic equation. Can you solve this equation using splitting the middle term method? If we try solving this equation using splitting the middle term method, we will not succeed as we cannot factorize the equation. Let us now solve the quadratic equation. X square plus 6x plus 3 equals to 0 by another method. How many terms can you see in the given equation? Absolutely right. This equation has 3 terms. Let us observe them. Talking about the first term of the equation, let it be a square, each side of which is x, whose area is the x square. Similarly, looking at the second term of the equation, suppose it is a rectangle, which has one side 6 and other side x, whose area is 6x. Can you combine these two shapes to form a new shape? Well done! If we combine the given square and rectangle, we shall get a new rectangle whose area will be equal to the sum of the area of the square and the area of the first rectangle, which means that its area would be x to the power 2 plus 6x. Now, we can divide the small rectangle, which is part of the new rectangle, into two equal rectangles in this manner. Now let's arrange the rectangular pieces in this way. On doing so, we get a new shape from this, whose total area is still equal to x square plus 6x. We can say that this shape is neither a square nor a rectangle. Can you guess what should be done to complete the shape as a square? In order to complete the shape, we need a square piece of side 3 units. Let's add a square piece of side 3 units to the figure. On doing so, we get a square, whose each side will be x plus 3 and its total area will be x plus 3 the whole square. To retain the area of the figure x square plus 6x, we will subtract the area of a square piece of side 3 units, which is 9 square units. Thus, the expression x square plus 6x can be written as x plus 3 the whole square minus 9. On comparing the given equation to the quadratic equation, x square plus 6x plus 3 equals to 0. We see that there is a shortage of plus 3 in equation 2. Hence, adding 3 to both sides of equation 2, which can be expressed as in this way, the given equation can be written as a complete square as x plus 3 the whole square minus 6 equals to 0. Can you now find the value of x by solving equation 4? Well done! If we take the square roots of both the sides of equation 4, we get x plus 3, which is equal to plus minus root 6. Can you tell me, why didn't we just consider positive root 6? That's because the square of both positive root 6 and negative root 6 is 6. Therefore, on solving the roots of the equation, x is equal to minus 3 plus square root of 6, and x is also equal to minus 3 minus square root of 6. Thus, we have found the root of the given quadratic equation by expressing it in the form x plus 3 the whole square minus 6 equal to 0. In the same way, we can solve any quadratic equation by converting it the term minus b square by 4a into a perfect square and finding the solution of a multiplied by x plus b by 2a the whole square plus c minus b square by 4a equal to 0. This method is known as completing the square method. In this video, we learned how to solve a quadratic equation by completing the square method. In the next video, we shall see examples related to it. Hello everyone and welcome to this video. In our previous video, we learned how to solve a quadratic equation using completing the square method. In this video, let us solve a few problems based on this method. A rectangular garden is 12 meters in length and 10 meters in width. If all of its dimensions are increased by equal number, the total area of the garden becomes 240 square meters. Find the solution of the equation of the rectangular garden. Can you find the equation of the garden? Pause the video here and find out the equation of the garden. Do you remember how we had solved a similar equation in the previous video? Well done! We can solve this by completing the square method. First and foremost, we see that the equation is not in the form of perfect square. To simplify it, let us move its constant to the right side. Now, if we divide the coefficient of x in equation 1 by 2, we get 11. Let us add and subtract the square of 11 to the left side of equation 1 to keep the equation balanced. When we solve this equation, we get x square plus 22x plus 121 equal to 241. Which can be represented in the given manner in equation 2. Can you find the solution of this equation, that is, the value of x? Well done! In order to solve this, the square root sign will be applied to both sides of equation 2. we will get the value of x plus 11 as plus or minus root 241. On solving equation 1 and 2, we will have the same roots. Thus, if we take the positive sign, the value of x will be 4.52. And if we take the negative sign, the value of x will be minus 26.52. Here, we get two values of x. However, dimension of the garden cannot be a negative value. Therefore, the increase in the measurement of length and width of the garden will be 4.52 meters. Let us look at another example. Madhu's age is 8 years less than 4 times Raghu's present age. If the product of the ages is 60, then can you find the present age of Raghu and Madhu? Suppose Raghu's present age is equal to p years. According to the question, Madhu's age is 8 less than 4 times Raghu's present age. That is, Madhu's age will be equal to 4p minus 8 years. The product of both their ages is given as 60, which we shall consider as equation 1. Solving equation 1, we get equation 2, which is 60 equal to 4p square minus 8p. Simplifying equation 2, we get equation 3. If we divide the coefficient of p in the equation 3 by 2, we will get 1. Adding and subtracting the square of 1 on the left side, we can balance the equation. Thus, we get the equation p square minus 2p plus 1 is equal to 16, which can be written as equation 4. Note that the solution of equation 1 will be the same as that of equation 4, which gives a value of p minus 1 is equal to plus or minus 4 after solving. Thus, if we take the positive sign, the value of p will be 5, and if we take the negative sign, the value of p will be minus 3. Therefore, both the solutions of p, that is 5 and minus 3, satisfy our equation. But if we wish to find out the age of Raghu and Madhu, and age cannot be a negative integer, therefore we will take the value of p as 5. Thus, Raghu's age will be 5 and Madhu's age will be 12 years. The method which we have used to find the age of Raghu and Madhu is called completing the square method. In this video, we have learned how to solve a quadratic equation using completing the square method. In the next video, we shall see the common mistakes that are made while solving such equations. Hello everyone and welcome to this video. In the previous video, we saw some examples solving a quadratic equation using completing the square method. Now we shall see what are the most common mistakes that happen while solving a quadratic equation by completing the square method. The sum of the marks that Hardik got in mathematics and science exams is 44. If he gets 2 marks more in mathematics and 4 marks less in science, then the product of his marks is 440. Can you find out marks he got in each subject? Pause the video to solve this question and then check your answer. Let us suppose that the marks obtained in mathematics is x, therefore the marks obtained in science will be 44 minus x. We know that if we add 2 to the mathematics marks and subtract 4 from the science marks, the product of the marks becomes 440, which is shown by equation 1. Upon further simplifying, we get algebraic equation 2. Can you guess what we should do next? To find out the mathematics marks, we will solve equation 2 in which coefficient of x is minus 38 and we divide it by 2. Thus, we get minus 19. We will now add and subtract the square of minus 19 to the left side of equation 2 so that the equation remains balanced. Solving the equation further, we get two values of x. X is equal to 18 and x is equal to 20. If we take the value of x as 18, then we get 18 marks in mathematics and 26 marks in science, and they satisfy the conditions given in the question. And if we take the value of x as 20, then we get 20 marks in mathematics and 24 marks in science, which once again satisfies the given conditions. So we can say that there are two possible solutions to this question, 18 or 20, and that how they could have got either of these marks. Hence, option 3 is the correct answer. If you have chosen the first option, it is a good try. But this answer is wrong. Because when you take the square root of x minus 19 square is equal to 1, then you only consider that x minus 19 equals to plus 1, which gives 20 marks in maths and 24 in science. But you have forgotten that x minus 19 equals to minus 1 is also a second possible solution. Note that we have to find the value of x for both positive and negative 1. Therefore, option 1 is incorrect. If you have chosen the second option, this too is a good try. But once again, your answer is incorrect. Because when you divided 38, the coefficient of x in equation 1 by 2 and then added and subtracted it directly to the left-hand side of the equation and get this equation without taking the square of 19 and then doing the same. In this way, we get stuck here because we had made a mistake while making the perfect square due to our wrong understanding, because of which you get an incorrect answer. So hopefully you must have understood why the third option is right in this example and why the other options are wrong. Teachers can also test the understanding of students in the class with the help of some such examples.